They were hired to purportedly make the platform safer for children. But what they found was a company that knew their products were unsafe, and they just did not care.
The walls are finally closing in on Meta. Two whistleblowers have stepped forward with disturbing revelations, accusing the tech giant of knowingly covering up evidence that its platforms endanger children. These allegations don't just raise concerns about online safety. They strike at the very heart of how far big tech will go to protect profits over people. Today, we break down the testimony of Dr. Jason Satizin and Ms. Casey Savage, and what it means for the future of online child protection.
As you all are aware, we have a vote series that is taking place. But I do want to say thank you so much for our witnesses being here and for each of you being here today. We will hear from Dr. Jason Satizin and Ms. Casey Savage. They are two brave whistleblowers who have come forward to detail shocking allegations about Meta's cover-up of deeply disturbing child safety research. They were hired to purportedly make the platform safer for children. But what they found was a company that knew their products were unsafe, and they just did not care. Nearly 4 years ago, I held my first hearing with a Meta whistleblower who detailed how Meta exploits our children online simply to maximize user engagement and boost their profits. Since then, we've seen a national movement of parents, legislators, whistleblowers, and children that have said enough is enough. Our children are more precious than the interest of depraved big tech CEOs, and that Congress must pass the bipartisan Kids Online Safety Act. After all these years, Meta continues to knowingly allow sexual exploitation and harms to children on their platforms. I'm incredibly grateful that individuals are still willing to come forward and shine a light on Meta's disturbing, willful, and intentional actions. Mark Zuckerberg has promised that, and I'm quoting him, in the metaverse, you'll be able to do almost anything you can imagine, end quote. And for once, Mr. Zuckerberg's statement rings true. That is, for predators, for pedophiles, for groomers, for traffickers, and all kinds of disgusting bad actors. As these whistleblowers will explain, the metaverse has become the Wild West for criminals who prey on our children. As our witnesses will tell us today, virtual reality can be incredibly dangerous for children, specifically because of the immersive nature of the technology. Children have a much harder time processing the difference between violence and abuse in the physical and virtual spaces. In other words, when their avatar on Meta's virtual reality platform is raped or harassed, children experience that trauma as if it is actually happening to them. Let's be clear, virtual reality is reality. These harms are real, and this abuse happens every single day, every day, on Meta's reality platforms. One employee stated on an internal message board in 2017, and again, I quote, "We have a child problem, and it's probably time to talk about it," end quote. That was 2017. One of their employees stating, "We have a child problem." But years later, Meta's C-suite has zero interest in these findings. According to these whistleblowers, Meta executives decided they didn't want to see research detailing how harmful their products are to children. So they unleash their attack dogs within Meta Legal on the research teams, intent on creating a rosy picture of their products. Meta Legal manipulated research methods and buried negative data. Meta instructed researchers to avoid asking teen survey participants questions which might lead them to discuss harms they've experienced because of Meta's design. And when their suppression didn't work, they just simply deleted the evidence. They erased it so no one would know. In one user review, Meta's Horizon Worlds was dubbed, and I quote, "the pedophile kingdom," end quote. This makes clear what we have known for years, that Meta profits from the sexualization and abuse of children. If you need another example, look at the recent report that Meta's own internal guidelines allowed AI chatbots to engage in sensual conversations with children. Their refusal to protect children and to instead profit at the expense of kids' safety, this is revolting. It is heinous conduct. Again, I want to thank the two whistleblowers that are here with us today and the other whistleblowers who have come forward who are not here. I know that this was not an easy decision for either of you, but what you're doing brings us one step closer to holding these big tech platforms accountable. We have parents in the room today. Parents all across the nation are speaking out, and we thank you. And to Maureen, Brian, Mia, Christine, those parents that have lost their children to social media harms, we're grateful that you're here and grateful for your passion to make sure that no parent ever has to experience the trauma that you have experienced. With your help, we will get the Kids Online Safety Act passed, and we will get it to the president's desk, and we will hold big tech accountable. Now I turn to Senator Klobuchar.
Dr. Jason Satizin and Ms. Casey Savage were hired by Meta under the promise of making platforms safer for children. Instead, what they discovered was a company that allegedly knew its products were unsafe and didn't care. Their testimony confirms years of mounting evidence from past whistleblowers. Meta exploits children's engagement as a means to maximize profits. Lawmakers are now pushing forward the bipartisan Kids Online Safety Act, a bill designed to hold big tech accountable for the harm done to children online. This movement has been fueled by parents, advocates, and courageous insiders who've said enough is enough. If passed, this legislation could force platforms like Meta to implement real safeguards or face serious consequences. One of the most shocking revelations is tied to Meta's virtual reality platforms. According to whistleblowers, the immersive nature of VR makes harassment and assault feel real, to children trauma that can leave lasting scars. Reports describe Horizon Worlds as a breeding ground for predators, with some even dubbing it the pedophile kingdom. For children, the line between virtual and reality vanishes, making these experiences devastatingly real. Internal documents as early as 2017 admitted, "We have a child problem." Yet Meta executives allegedly dismissed the warnings, suppressing research, manipulating surveys, and in some cases, deleting damaging findings entirely. Evidence of AI chatbots engaging in sexual conversations with minors only amplifies the accusations that Meta prioritized optics and revenue over the safety of kids. These revelations paint a chilling picture of negligence at the highest levels of Meta. But change is only possible if people stay informed and engaged. If you believe big tech should be held accountable and that children's safety must come first, hit that subscribe button right now and join the growing movement demanding accountability. The testimony of Dr. Satizin and Ms. Savage is more than a warning. It's a call to action. Parents, lawmakers, and whistleblowers are united in one message. The lives of children are more precious than the profits of tech executives. With the Kids Online Safety Act gaining momentum, the pressure is mounting on Meta like never before. The question is, Will Congress deliver, or will big tech find another way to escape responsibility? Stay tuned, because this fight is far from over.